welcome. I'm Sarah, the voice that opens each episode of You're Probably Right. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found us. This show is built on real experiences and honest reflection. Nothing rushed, nothing performative, just conversations meant to meet you where you are. In a moment, you'll hear from MCM, the voice behind this space. Each episode comes from lived experience and thoughtful insight, not trends or quick takes. So get a drink, fluff your pillow, or just press pause on the outside noise.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is MCM. Welcome to the podcast called You're Probably Right. I am MCM, as I said. I just would like to, again, thank all of my listeners, new and old, or new and mature, or new and experienced. How about that? New and vintage. How about not new? How about... Nah, forget it. Sorry. Today's episode is episode 293. I got 3 interesting lists for you. If you really want to know, you can read it in the description, what this episode is about, but I just want to kind of get into it. This one is, again, relationship based. This is for all the people who sometimes know better but are fooling themselves, and they just need someone else, a friend like me, to just tell you like it is, as they say. I'm gonna get right into it. Let me just move this thing over here. Sometimes I wish this was a going back and forth conversation, but I mean, it can be. You can email me at yprpodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Also, you could, I'm not gonna say that one. But yeah, we're out here, man. We're out here, man. It's funny. All right. Let me start with something that sounds simple, but it's not. Most people are not confused because relationships are unknowable. Most people are confused because they keep trying to understand behavior through hope. And boy, oh boy, that hope. That hope is hope is powerful. Hope can make you ignore patterns. Hope can make you excuse what is obvious. And that hurts when you realize it, but you can't do anything inside of yourself to do anything about it. Hope can make you tell yourself a story, you see, that keeps you emotionally invested in someone who is only partially invested in you. Now, I'm not saying that people are evil, although people are born and shaped in iniquity. I'm not... Understand this phrase. When I'm saying people are not evil, I believe that we are all born on this earth. This earth is a fallen earth. It is full of fallen people, fallen things. But our first desire is for ourselves, selfishness. Naturally. Now, I believe the people who call themselves Christians, who believe, not only call themselves Christian, but who believe in the God of the Bible, that Jesus died on the cross and he rose again and he's alive now, making intercessions for his people. He's sitting at the right hand of God, alive, and not like a ghost, in the flesh, in his new flesh. But so the people who have not believed, right? And the people who believe, but just have a natural nature, just like everybody who doesn't believe. I believe that we just don't have the right desires. But I'm not saying that just because you don't believe, you walk around saying, let me see what I can get over on this person. Do you understand? I believe there are nice people, there are moral people who are just not saved. And I mean, for counting morality, well, it can shift, right? Depending on your experiences. So that's a whole muddy thing. But anyways, if you really want to believe, if you really want to understand and believe, hopefully, what I'm saying to you, then just check out your closest Bible or a Bible believing church that does expository preaching. So I just wanted to kind of make that statement because people might not understand what I'm saying when I say, now I'm not saying people are evil. It's just, you might have a friend down the street. Maybe they're a total atheist and they they do nice things all the time. Do you understand? I'm just trying to say that in most cases, most people are not the opposite of that, where they just are trying to do evil. You get it? Okay, now that I've beaten the dead horse dead, and 20,000 people have left the building. No, maybe not 20,000, maybe just 20. Anyhow, let me get back to this. Now, I'm not saying people are evil. I'm not saying everyone is calculating. I'm saying that behavior has a shape to it. And when you learn to see that shape, you stop losing years. Because some of you who are listening right now thinking, this is going to turn into one of those generic relationship episodes where somebody repeats the same talking points you've heard 1,000 times till you're numb in the brain. Anxious, avoidant, blah, blah, blah. Love languages, trauma, boundaries, rinse and repeat. No. Today's different. Or tonight or whatever time it is for you. Because we're going to talk, we're going to take confusion and we're going to turn it into a side-by-side view of reality. And before I go any further, I need to say this clearly so nobody mishears me. Although I guess they could just cut this part out. None of what I'm saying is set in stone in the way that I'm saying it. None of it is a guarantee. People are, as they say, complex. People change. Context matters. Timing, it matters. Mental health matters. Experiences matter. So yes, there are gray areas, lots of them. But patterns still exist, and you can follow patterns generally. And the reason lists matter is because a list forces your brain to stop romanticizing. A list forces you to stop filling in blanks with fantasy. A list forces you to admit this is what's happening, even if I don't like it. So today I'm going to give you 3 lists. The first list is the foundation. It's not about what you say. It's about what their behavior reveals, or her or his behavior reveals. The first list answers the one question. When a woman has chosen a man for the long term, what changes compared to when the connection is casual, convenient, or as they say, a situationship? And I want you to listen like a detective, not like a victim, not like someone trying to prove a point, just like a detective. Listen for patterns, not perfection. All right, let's check it out. List one. When she has chosen him for the long term versus a casual relationship. You understand? So you got long term over here, casual over there. Maybe just for jokes. Long term, if you're in front of you or your eyes are closed, or you're in the dark or wherever you are, it's just long term to the left and casual to the right. I'm going to say each one the same way. I will give you the long term version, then I will give you the casual version, and I will give you an example so simple that even someone with low intelligence cannot pretend they don't understand what it means. Okay, that last part really could have gone unsaid. Just messing with you anyways. Okay, number one, out of the blue. Number one, pregnancy mindset. Now you might be thinking, like, why the heck do you go right your relationship all of a sudden she's pregnant? No, just get the mindset, okay? I put that one there first on purpose. When she has chosen him for long term, right? Her anxiety around pregnancy often drops. No, for real. Think about it. If you're a girl, if you're a guy, when she has chosen him for long term, right? That means she wants to be with him long term. She wants to be like the movie Up, right? Just right into senility, right into heaven. Her anxiety, if she's at the age, obviously, to be pregnant, her anxiety around it just drops. So let's just say she's at a 90 and scared, she at least will drop down to a 60. Do you understand? Or if she's at a 50, she drops down to 0. You get it? And obviously there's nuance and there's gray areas and blah, blah, blah. Not because she suddenly wants a baby, you understand? Not because she has no standards, not because she is reckless. It drops because pregnancy represents permanence, and permanence feels less terrifying when the man feels like home and he fits. Do you understand? I don't think anybody's ever said this to you before, right? I could be wrong. So you may hear her say something often softer than before. You get it? Something like, if it happened, we would deal with it. Or, it would not be ideal right now, but we would figure it out. You get that? You get the mindset around it? And even if she still does not want a child, the emotional tone shifts. It becomes less panic and more like problem solving. Now compare that with the casual or the situationship or situationship, whatever that they call them these days. I don't even know, man. Pregnancy is treated like a threat, like a sentence, like a disaster, like something that would ruin her life. Same baby. Oh, hang on a sec, guys. I want to see if I can feed this squirrel. It's kind of weird. The reason why I say it's weird, but it's because as I've gotten older, I literally, and it's not because I got nothing to do, but I literally recognize some of these squirrels that run by this house. I don't know, the city is crazy. Here's just some fun facts as I pull you out of what I was trying to tell you just now. Um, in 2012, if you're in Toronto, you would remember early January, I believe it was. We had a snowstorm and it turned into an ice storm, and many trees in Toronto and Markham and York and Durham, Peel were and other places were like given like a sheet of ice, and it ripped down how many like many trees. So in my area, all the trees were pretty much dead after that. So the city, being smart, decided to give us acorn trees. I don't know if they're trying to help the roofers because a lot of roofers have moved into the area or what it is, but now we have like pretty much have a squirrel problem. Get it? So like I'm literally recognizing squirrels running past his house. So I just kind of find it funny. I wish I had walnuts and stuff, but I just decided to throw a squirrel a piece of bread. If that wasn't a good thing, Greenpeace, don't come at me. All right. Anyhow, let me get right back into it. Come on, this is why you're here. You don't just want straight information. You can go anywhere to get straight information. No, you can't, because this ain't straight information. No, all right. Um, yeah. So pregnancy is treated like a threat when it's just a casual situation, right? Like a disaster, like something that would ruin her life. And the conversation becomes strict, defensive, urgent. What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? We have to do it now. It's like, you get it? Long-term version sounds like we would handle it. We are a team. Casual version sounds like, no, absolutely not. This cannot happen. The difference tells you how she is framing the bond, even if she never says it directly. Do you understand? So when a woman looks at you a certain way, that is something that happens. Do you get it? Like sometimes guys don't know, or sometimes women don't know. But these things happen naturally, pretty naturally. Number two, risk tolerance. When she has chosen him for long term, she accepts higher emotional life risk. That means she is willing to be seen for who she is for real, probably behind the fake eyelashes and weaves and makeup and blah, blah, blah. Although she doesn't maybe not want him to see her like that too often, but because she has chosen him, but she wants him to see, even if she's still not comfortable, right? Willing to invest, willing to show up even if she's not fully in control. And some want to give all control to him. She may introduce you to more of her life. She may be less guarded, so more of your life, your kids, your mother, your father. As I said, with the full control, wherever you say you guys are going, that's where you're going. Even if she doesn't want to go there, she just like wants to give it up. Do you understand? Like, and again, there is nuance, right? I said not full control, and then I went to absolute control. Do you understand? So there's levels in what I'm saying. Hopefully you're getting what I'm saying. So yeah, she'll introduce you to more of her life, whatever her life consists of. She wants you to be a part of it. She wants you to see and attach yourself to it and want to be there around her because she's chosen you for long term. You get it? Even if she hasn't verbally said it. She may be less guarded. She may make decisions that require trust in you. In casual dynamic though, risk is minimized. Same risk, but it gets minimized. Everything stays reversible. Everything stays convenient. Everything stays light enough to escape the situation altogether. For example, long-term version, she comes to something important to you, even when it's convenient. Wait, sorry. Long-term version, she comes to something important to you, even when it's inconvenient, because she wants to be a part of your world. Casual version, she only shows up when it's easy because she wants access without exposure, and she also wants to be able to get out of there if she needs to. Number 3, us against the world thinking. When she's chosen him for long term, a subtle shift happens. The relationship starts being framed as we. Problems become shared. Stress becomes shared. Her wins feel like your wins. Your losses feel like her losses. Do you understand? It just happens. She's not learning to feel this way. There is a protective energy, even if it's quiet. In a casual dynamic, that mindset never fully forms. She keeps emotional escape routes. She keeps distance in the parts that would create real bond. The connection is enjoyed, but not defended, not shown. Long-term version, when something threatens the relationship, she leans in and fights for the bond. Casual versions, when something threatens the relationship, she shrugs and says, maybe this isn't meant to be. It's easy to just slough it off. Something happens, something doesn't work. Maybe this was never meant to happen. Right? But if you really want to be there and you really want to be with him, that changes. Let's work on it. What can I do? How can I help it? Number 4, financial sacrifice. When she has chosen him for long term, money and inconvenience stop being deal breakers. Not because she becomes irresponsible, but because she sees closeness as worth the cost. She might travel more than she normally would. She might pay for something she normally wouldn't. She might rearrange her budget to make space for you. In a casual dynamic, inconvenience is avoided. If it costs too much time, right? Money, effort, it gets reconsidered. Oh, maybe this isn't the way to go. Plans get shaped around what is the easiest, not what brings closeness. Long-term version, she will spend on a weekend trip with you because she sees it as building. Casual version, she will keep it cheap, short, and controlled because she sees it as experience, not foundation. And, getting to number 5 here, I already realized for some people this list might hurt a little bit because it's your reality. Just remember, like, for sure, there's no judgment over here. I'm just stating things that sometimes are obvious, but never get brought to the forefront of people's minds fully. So we don't really sit with it usually. Understand? So this might be, for some people, some things are probably going to be light, like, oh, whatever. And then for some people, some of the stuff's going to really, really hit hard. doing deep dives. And I hate that term, and I've said it so many times on this podcast, deep dives. Anyhow. Number 5, physical safety trade-offs. You might find this one weird. Maybe not. When she has chosen him for long term, her tolerance for discomfort can increase. She may stay out later than usual. She may travel to a place she wouldn't normally avoid. She might miss work when she never misses work just to see him. She may do small things that feel inconvenient or uncomfortable because being with you matters more than perfect comfort. See, we always think that it's the perfect comfort as guys. It's not. That's why we don't need to make things easier. We don't have to make the landing a feather every time. Even for that, you're gonna have to, it's deeper than what I said. In casual dynamics, safety and control get prioritized hard. She chooses familiar settings. She limits exposure. She keeps exits clear and unblocked. Long term, she will come see you even if it means a late drive or a drive through the snow, or it's inconvenient to her schedule. Casual version, she'll keep everything in her zone, her time, her rules, so she never feels too far in. Right. Number 6, submission to leadership. This one is misunderstood, so listen carefully. When she has chosen him for the long term, she can willingly yield decision making and direction sometime. It's not weakness, that's trust. And it's a burden a lot of women actually don't want to carry, even if they do everything for themselves all the time. She wants to be able to have someone to trust that she doesn't have to figure it out every single time. She may ask your opinion more. She may defer on plans to what you think. She may let you lead without resistance because she respects your judgment, even if she doesn't think it's a good idea. And for some women, they won't even think, they'll just trust you, and they won't even know. And maybe in their hearts they'll know, but it won't come up, it won't pop up in them. It'll be just, well, he said, let's go this way, we're going this way. In the casual dynamic though, control is protected in most situations. She questions decisions more. She resists influence. She keeps authority balanced. Long term, she might say, you decide, I trust you. Casual though, she says, no, I'll handle it. I don't need to follow anyone. That tells you how she feels being guided by you. Number 7, power dynamics. When she has chosen him for the long term, power dynamics soften. Soften. She becomes less defensive, less guarded. She feels safe enough to let go of constant control. In casual dynamics, power stays guarded. Every decision becomes a negotiation. Every boundary gets enforced tightly. Every step measured. Long term, she relaxes into the relationship. She's not constantly scanning for leverage. Casual version, she stays alert, constantly managing the balance because she is not sure if she wants to be fully in. Number 8, emotional exposure. When she is chosen in for long term, her emotional mask comes off. She cries in front of you. She breaks down. She shows raw emotion without filtering. You might see her prejudices, her little idiosyncrasies, nuance in her behavior that other people don't see, or most other people don't see, unless they're in like her immediate circle of trust, I guess. She lets you see her overwhelmed, insecure, even embarrassed. In casual dynamics, the emotions are contained. She keeps it light. She manages her image. She avoids looking needy because casual bonds punish vulnerability. Long-term version, she'll let you see her at her lowest. Casual version, she'll disappear when she is at her lowest and then return when she's become composed again. She's covered everything. Number 9. By the way, it's a list of 35, I think. Sorry, guys. When she has chosen him for the long term, conflict carries weight. Arguments feel emotional. There is an urgency to fix it, right? There is frustration mixed with fear of loss. She wants resolution, not escape. Even upset, she stays engaged. In a casual dynamic, conflict feels optional. She disengages quickly. She withdraws. She becomes indifferent. Example, long-term version, she will argue, then circle back because the bond matters. Casual version, she'll go silent and let the connection fade because leaving is always on the table. Number 10, fear of loss. When she has chosen him for long term, the idea of losing you feels destabilizing. She may worry about it. She may ask for reassurance. She may feel anxious around distance or change. But in a casual dynamic, loss feels manageable. If it ends, it ends. It is what it is. She adjusts quickly. And honestly, this goes both ways, really. I know I'm saying she, but it's not like this podcast is only made for men. So a lot of this stuff can go both ways, guys. but it's just depending. But yeah, goes both ways. Long version, she checks in when she feels like things feel off because she doesn't want to lose the bond. In the casual version, she checks out when things feel off because she doesn't want to deal with the bond. Number 11, cutting contact. When she is chosen in for long term, separation is difficult. No contact feels painful. Distance creates distress. She resists clean endings. In casual dynamics, endings are acceptable and very easy in most cases. She may even be the one to suggest space. She closes the door without much emotion. So, for example, long term, she struggles to stay away. She finds reasons to reconnect. Casual, she goes cold and stays cold because she never was that anchored anyway. Number 12, time and access. When she has chosen him for long term, time becomes fluid, flexible, not so much of a construct, or maybe. She makes room even when it's inconvenient, when there's technically no room. She'll make the room. She'll rearrange her plans. She prioritizes seeing you. In casual dynamics, time is convenient, or it's convenience based. If it fits, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But example for long term, basically what I'm saying is she'll find a way. Casual, she'll find an excuse. And yes, that sounds blunt, but it's real. Time reveals priority. Yeah, time reveals priority more clearly than words ever will. And, sometimes a person checks out and, maybe you'll be waiting the whole night for a message from them. Then they'll message you in the morning and it'll happen more and more if the bond isn't very great, very good. Even if it's a busybody person, they'll say, sorry, I fell asleep. Whereas if there's a bond and they want a bond to be there for a long time, they'll probably message you in the middle of the night saying, sorry, I fell asleep. Even if they had to get up and go to the washroom, you know what I mean? Like as early or as soon as possible, though, if that happens. But most of the time, they'll have more of like an internal clock telling them to get back at you. So even if it's usually there, they don't get back usually for a day. And something happens throughout a whole day, they'll get back to you a day and a half. You understand? Whereas if they don't really care about the bond and it's not really going to be a long-term thing, maybe they'll get back to you in 2 days, 2 days and a half, Anyhow. Let's see. All right, number 13. So if you're really listening, right, you're starting to realize something that people do not like to admit. Most of the time, confusion is not because the situation is complicated. The confusion is because one person is living in a long-term language and the other person is living in a casual behavior. So we keep going. Same format. Long-term, left side, casual's right side. Then a simple example. So nobody can pretend not to understand. Better than how I said it the first time, right? Number 13, overnight comfort. Yeah, overnight comfort. When she has chosen him for long term, overnight comfort happens quickly and easy. Sleepovers do not feel like a big negotiation. They feel normal. She is not counting minutes. She is not rushing out the door. She is not treating the night like a special event that requires complicated exit plan. In a casual dynamic, overnight stays are limited or delayed or non-existent. Not always because she dislikes you. Sometimes it's because she doesn't want routine to form. Right? Sometimes it's because routine creates attachment, and attachment creates expectation, and expectation creates obligation. Yeah, some people wouldn't, their mind doesn't add things up that way. Right? For example, long term, as I said, she falls asleep peacefully and wakes up like she belongs there. Casual, she leaves early or she always has a reason she can't stay. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. She doesn't want to linger. And she's not going to try to make a way to linger. When she has chosen him for long term, she lets him leave belongings at her place. A hoodie, a toothbrush, a charger, something simple. It's not about the object, really. It's about permission. Her space becomes less private, less guarded, more shared, more welcoming, more open. In casual dynamics, personal space stays separated. She may like you, she may enjoy you, but her home stays her home. Her territory stays untouched. Long-term version, your stuff starts appearing naturally without awkward conversation. It's just, oh, that's his hat. It's just there. Get it? Casual version, you always feel like a visitor, even when you've been there many times. Number 15. Hope you're liking this, y'all. When she has chosen him for the long term, she leaves her items at his place too. This matters because it's one of those things, I mean, it's one thing to allow you into the world, her world, and it's another thing to step into yours. Mutual territory means she is comfortable being present on both sides. In a casual dynamic, she avoids leaving personal traces. She stays in control by not taking up space. Example, long-term version, she has things at your place she doesn't even think twice about. Casual version, she leaves with everything every time, like she is erasing evidence that she was ever there. All right. Number 16, children introduction. Now, we're just assuming in this situation. Remember, some of these things might not apply for different reasons. I mean, you might meet her when she's 55. You understand? So kids are probably not going to be an issue as far as having them. But it might be children introduction. So you have them already, maybe. Right? You get it? So you got to kind of take all this with nuance to your life and how your life is set up, right? Like, do you visit at all? Are you in different cities? Do you understand? There's a whole bunch of different, Anyhow, I'm just all over the place as far as what it could be, but some of you, every single one here, it makes sense. And you've recognized it. And as I said, if it's an eye-opening experience, and I'm the first to kind of show it to you, then and you're an anxious person, then I just want to offer you a heartfelt I see you. And hopefully you're seeing it. Okay, number 16. When she's chosen him for long term, right? Children introductions. She introduces him to her children relatively early. Not recklessly, not instantly, but intentionally. Because if you are going to be a part of her life long term, you cannot stay hidden from the most important part of her life. In a casual dynamic, though, children are kept completely separate. Completely. You might see a picture. Because once you meet children, the connection becomes real, and real creates expectation. Things go left, you see your kid in the mall in 10 years, they're going to say, hey, they possibly could say, hey, you understand, it's more permanent. Long-term version, she wants the kids to know you even in small steps. Casual version, you could be around for months and the kids will never even hear your name. That probably hurts some people. And some people are like, cool. So much nuance, man. Number 17, family visibility. When she has chosen him for the long term, she allows him into family conversations and family life. She mentions you. She includes you. She speaks about you like you are not temporary. In casual dynamics, though, family life remains closed off. You are not discussed. You are not integrated. You are not part of her story. I mean, she might have tested you out, maybe even mentioned you just for jokes, stuff and giggles, as they say. But the more and more stuff like that is bounced off people that are in her like her circle of trust, and if they if they shun you in their minds or make a joke, that just pushes you farther away from ever being anywhere near close to anybody in her family unless it's by accident. The long-term version, someone in her family knows you exist, even if they have never met you yet. Casual version, you are private, a compartment, like a separate life. Number 18, symbolic gifting. When she has chosen him for long term, she gives something meaningful or sentimental. Not expensive, maybe just a bowl, maybe sweater, Maybe your favorite laces out of her favorite pair of shoes, and now one of her shoes are at home with one lace and one has nothing. You know what I mean? It could be anything. Something that shows she is paying attention, something tied to who you are. Literally, get it? Tied. Laces. Anyways. In a casual dynamic, gifts are generic, could have been given to anybody, or they're non-existent. If there are gifts, they are safe, surface, low effort, and purely practical. Here's a toothbrush. No. Long-term version, she gets you something that connects to a memory you shared. Casual version, if she gives anything, it is a kind of thing that you can give anyone. I love toothbrush, right? Maybe your breast stinks, no. Number 19, emotional memory. When she has chosen him for long term, she remembers small personal details. What you said, what you like, what stresses you, what makes you laugh. Because she is emotionally tracking you. In a casual dynamic, details are often forgotten easily. Because the bond is not being stored deeply. You know, if it was a computer, it's not going on the hard drive. It's going to go on your disk that you're going to pull out and you can place somewhere. Or just delete. It is being enjoyed lightly in that case, right? Maybe it's just a video you pop in here and there. Oh boy, that was kind of, yeah. Long-term version, she remembers your important days, even if you forget them yourself. The casual version, you have to repeat things and it still doesn't stick. Wild, right? Number 20, when she has chosen him for a long term, for the long term, right? Somehow she's inside of her. She's chosen. He's chosen. Remember, this can go by both ways. I'm just saying it the way I could be saying they all of this time, really, but just not okay. I don't. Okay, maybe I should start saying they. Nah, I'm not doing it. Anyways. Okay. Listen, she expects effort if she's chosen for long term, protection and consistency. That is not entitlement. It is orientation. She expects you to show up because she believes you are building something together. In casual dynamic, expectations are intentionally low because low expectations protect her from disappointment and they protect her from attachment. Long-term version, she expects regular communication and follow through. Casual, she doesn't ask for much, and she acts like she doesn't care because caring creates vulnerability. Although some people are just caring in general, but you understand, again, there's levels to it, right? 21. When she has chosen him for long term. Resource seeking. She actively wants to help and support. Advice, help with decisions, help with problems, help with life. Because she values your role in her world. In a casual dynamic, she avoids depending on him. She keeps a wall up around needing you, specifically. You know, she might be saying she needs a hero, but she's not saying, I need you to be my hero. Long-term version, she calls you when she is stressed and actually listens to what you have to say. Casual version, she tells you problems after they're solved usually, so she never has to rely on you. Now, sometimes she might tell you because she knows you're a fixer, so it just depends. Number 22. When she has chosen him for the long term, she protects the bond from outside threats. She shuts things down. She avoids ambiguity. Ambiguity? What was I saying? She avoids ambiguity. She does not keep a lineup of options hovering in the background. What do you mean? You know what I mean. In the casual dynamic, she keeps options open and wide. Not always because she's malicious, sometimes because she is just undecided. Long-term version, she doesn't entertain attention that could damage your relationship. Casual version, she keeps the door open because the bond is not fully chosen. 23, curiosity and depth. When she has chosen him for long term, now this is just something that's inside of her. You understand? It hasn't, like, she didn't go somewhere and write it down. I have chosen him for a long term. That's not what I'm saying. She asks deeply about his past and his future. Not just what you do, but who are you, really? She asks about your childhood, your fears, your values, your plans. In the casual dynamic, interest stays surface level. She knows your highlights, but not your foundation. Long-term version, she wants to understand you, not just enjoy you. Casual, she wants good moments and not deep knowledge. 24, communication style. When she's chosen him for long-term, contact is consistent and predictable. It is not perfect, but it is steady. In a casual dynamic, communication is hot and cold. A lot of energy, then silence. Warmth, then distance. So in long-term version, you can predict her rhythm. You do not feel like you're guessing. But casual, you're always wondering if you are about to be ignored again. 25. When she has chosen him for a long term, she wants the relationship seen and acknowledged. Yep, you got that right, buddy. Oops, let me just move this thing down here, guys. I hate using this thing to move. All right, there we go, yay. Cool. Cool beans, as they say. Okay. So, as I said, when she's chosen him for long term, she wants a relationship seen and acknowledged. Not necessarily shouted to the world, to the edge of the of the four corners of the earth, but not hidden either. She's not scared to be seen with you. In casual dynamics, she keeps things vague or hidden. Maybe she does. Maybe she knows people around your way and she doesn't want to be seen with you. Who knows? Anyways, in a casual dynamic, she keeps things vague or hidden. As I said, she may avoid being seen together. She may avoid labels. She may avoid situations where others would understand what you are, right? Probably not public displays of affection. Long term, she's comfortable being connected to you in real life, actually. Imagine. Casual, she enjoys you privately but avoids public clarity. Just in case. Case. 26. Future language. Oh, yeah, that future language. When she's chosen him for long term, she talks in terms of we and later and us. She casually includes you in her future. One day we can, right? In a casual dynamic, future talk is avoided or joked away. Yeah, right, you're going to be my baby. No, whatever. Because future talk turns an experience into a plan, and plan turns a bond and into responsibility. Long-term version, she talks about things you will do months from now, like it's obvious. Casual, she keeps it like tonight and maybe this weekend, possibly. 27. When she chooses him for the long term, her actions align with loyalty without rules. She behaves protectively because she wants to, not because she is being monitored. In a casual dynamic, though, loyalty exists only within technical boundaries. It's like, I did not cheat, so I did nothing wrong, even if the behavior was disrespectful. Long-term version, she avoids behaviors that would embarrass you or damage your trust. Casual, she stays just inside the rules even if the spirit of loyalty is missing. Number 28. When she has chosen him for long term, she feels calm and grounded around him. There is less chaos, less uncertainty, less emotional whiplash. But in a casual situation, the connection feels exciting but unstable. Adrenaline. Highs, lows, and constant tension about where it's going. So in long-term mindset, you feel like her nervous system settles around you. But in casual, everything feels like a spark. Nothing feels homey. Homely. Yes. 29. When she has chosen him for the long term, well, sexual framing, I guess, guys. Yeah. When she's chosen him for the long term, sex is one expression of the bond, right? Just one. It reflects closeness, trust, and connection. In a casual dynamic, sex is the primary glue to your whole situation. It becomes the main reason the bond actually exists. Long-term version, intimacy happens within a larger emotional container. Casual version, without sex, the connection would fade very quickly. All right, number 30, effort and imbalance. When she has chosen him for a long term, or when they have chosen you for a long term, they give effort without negotiating every step. They show up, they contribute. In casual dynamics, effort is conditional. They give they give when it benefits them, when they feel like it, when it's convenient. Long-term version, they do small things because they care, not because they're trying to bargain something. But casual, effort feels like a must be earned kind of repeatedly thing. So always think about people like that in your life. I know I'm not sitting on any one. I mean, I honestly think that each of these 35 could literally be podcast episodes by themselves, if you understand, because I can get so much deeper in each of them. But just because I'm going through a list, and people tend to like lists, even though my list is a long drawn out style, I'm trying to make sure this is fully understood. And if you don't fully get some of the stuff, maybe play it back another time. But they contribute almost like from a necessity of their heart towards you, not a necessity because it's something that you just have to do, right? You have to go half on a check or you have to pay for something, you know what I mean? Like, not something that you have to do in that way, logistically, but have to as in the heart is there for it. So really, really, really check on the situations where someone is giving and you don't really know if they have, they're just giving to you openly and freely. They're almost like they're giving the shirt off their back, giving the food out of their mouth. All right. Number 31. When she has chosen him for a long term, he becomes part of her routine and identity. And remember, this can go both ways. When they have chosen you for a long term, they become a part of your routine, part of your identity, part of what you do, part of what you fraternize with, or it's part of your day is going to be, or part of your week is going to be a part of that person and what they did and how they affected you and how you affected them and what you were able to do together. When they've chosen you for long term, it's not instantly, but it's naturally. It becomes part of how she plans her days, her habits, her sense of self. In a casual dynamic, though, he remains compartmentalized. You are kept in a separate category, separate time, separate world. Long-term version, her life starts making room for you automatically. Casual, you fit in gaps, but you do not shape the schedule at all. 32. When she has chosen him for a long term, or let's do the other way, when he has chosen her for a long term, she adjusts behaviors, or he adjusts behaviors out of respect for him. Something that you would normally do, you don't do because you want to respect him. When guys notice that, I can tell you honestly, as being a guy, that's one of those things that really endear us to a woman. Not that we're doing it like, not like in a controlling way, but the fair fact that the person has made space for you, I can't overstep that boundary. I can't do this. I can't smile at that guy in the mall because I'm right beside my guy or this guy, and this guy is important to me. You understand? Like little stuff like that. Not that you can't smile. It's not that. I'm just using a frivolous example, really. There's just certain things you will not let yourself do because you want to make sure that guy knows that you respect him. She considers your needs. She changes certain habits because she values the bond with you. In the casual dynamic, she resists behavior change because change suggests commitment and commitment suggests obligation, right? So long term, she says, I hear you, I'll do better, and she means it. Casual, she says, this is just who I am, take it or leave it. It is what it is. I think I should call this list the is what it is or you matter list. But that basically says it all, pretty much. Number 33, emotional accountability. When she has chosen him for a long term, she feels responsible for his emotional state. Not responsible like a parent, responsible like a partner. She cares if she sees you hurt. They care if they see that you're impacted. They care, period. In a casual dynamic, though, emotional responsibility is avoided. Your feelings are treated as your problem. Long-term version, she checks in after a conflict. She wants to repair. Casual, though, she disappears and assumes you'll get over it. 34, reactions to distance. When she has chosen him for long-term, distance creates anxiety and pursuit. Not always a panic, but movement towards reconnection. In a casual dynamic, distance creates relief and neutrality. Space feels easy. Separation feels just fine. So long term, she reaches out when the bond feels stretched. So there's different distance. If they don't hear from you in 2 days, they might, one day, it depends on what you guys are up to. But casual, she's fine if she doesn't hear from you. And number 35 of this amazingly long list. Core motivation. This is an anchor point. When she has chosen him for a long term, she wants to build a life, not just a moment, not just good times, a life. In a casual dynamic, she wants an experience. Something enjoyable, exciting, comforting, but not permanent. So, in long term, she talks like you're building, as I've said many times now. But in casual, she talks like you're just visiting. And that's just the way it is. Okay, guys, that completes the first list. Take a breath, because if you're honest, this list alone can answer questions people have spent years asking. Not with certainty, not with guarantees, but with enough clarity to stop pretending you don't see what you see. All right, let's see. And by now, you can probably feel what I'm trying to do with this episode. I'm trying to take the foggy feelings people live in, where they keep saying, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means. I don't know where I stand, and I'm trying to turn it into something you can actually hold in your hands mentally, I guess. Because when you name the pattern, you stop begging for explanations. And I guess if you're really anxious, this is probably hitting home in a big way. You stop bargaining with yourself. You stop needing someone to confess what their behavior already shows you plainly. Now we move on to the second list, guys. It's a long episode, huh? We're at 1 hour and 16. It's pretty good. Okay. This list is different from the first. The first list was about long-term orientation versus casual orientation. The second list is about boundary crossing. And I know I could have made this a separate episode. I could really chop it up, but I'm not doing it. So here it is. If you're tuning back in, here we go. Or if we'll, yeah, I guess, anyways. Okay. And I need you to understand what I mean by that. Boundaries do not disappear accidentally. When a person becomes deeply emotionally invested, certain rules that used to feel rigid become soft or softer. They soften. Not because they're pressured, beat down, not because they're manipulated, not because they're worn down. They soften because bond feels worth the risk. That is what this list is pointing at, really. So again, listen like a detective, not for perfection, not for guarantees, but for patterns. List 2, boundaries. Boundary crossing that signals real attachment and real submission. Number 1, she crosses boundaries she once enforced strongly. So maybe the situation has changed. When attachment is real, rules that used to be firm, or maybe are still firm for other people, can suddenly become flexible for you. A person who used to say, I never do sleepovers, might stay over the night without a big speech about it. Just like that. A person who used to say, I take things slow, might suddenly be moving faster than their own stated speed limit. And the key part is this. It is not because they are forced. It's because their desire and comfort overrode their caution or their red flags. In a casual dynamic, those boundaries stay hard. For example, long-term version, she breaks her own rules because she wants closeness more than control. The casual version, she enforces the rules because she wants control more than closeness. Right? So the first one, she's crossing boundaries that she wouldn't normally cross. Number 2, she allows access she denies to others. This is about access, right? Time access, space access, emotional access. When she is truly invested, she lets you get parts of her that most people don't get. You get priority, you get deeper conversations, you get a place in the rhythm of her life. In a casual dynamic, though, access stays limited. Not because she hates you, but because she protects herself from attachment. Example, long-term version, she makes room for you in her real life, even when it disrupts her routine. In a casual version, she fits you in with leftovers, the gaps, the convenient windows. Number 3, she breaks her own stated limit. This is similar to boundaries, but a little sharper. Limits are the things people say they will not do no matter what. When attachment is real, those limits can get quietly rewritten. Not because of pressure, but because the person wants to. They might say, I do not do that. But with you, it feels different. In casual dynamics, limits stay intact. Long-term version, she crosses her own limits because her feelings override caution. Casual version, she stays behind the limits because she does not want to deepen the bond. Number 4, this one's only going to 10, by the way, this guys. She risks judgment from others. This is a big one because it is social pressure. When attachment is real, she will accept being questioned, scrutinized even. Friends might say, are you sure? Family might raise an eyebrow, and she still chooses the bond. In casual dynamics, outside opinions has more control. If people question it, she backs away, as I was saying earlier. She bounced it off a couple people. The more people she bounces off in her personal circle that twist their face when she talks about you, the more pushed out you're getting, basically. Long term, she defends the connection. Yeah, she'll defend it, even if others don't understand it. Casual, she avoids the connection because she does not want to explain it. So she don't talk about you. Number 5, she changes behavior patterns publicly. This is about visibility. If you are truly invested in someone, your routines shift, your availability changes, your habits adjust, your priorities look different to other people. Yeah, other people. In a casual dynamic, nothing changes publicly. The connection stays in a private compartment. Long term, people can tell she is seeing someone because her life rhythm changes slightly. Casual, nobody would know anything because nothing in her outward life shifts. 6, she tolerates vulnerability that exposes her. Real attachment requires exposure. When she is truly invested, she will allow herself to be seen in ways that could embarrass her. Emotional exposed, socially exposed, sometimes reputationally exposed. In a casual dynamic, though, vulnerability stays limited. People keep the mask on to protect their image. But long term, she'll cry, she'll admit fear, admit insecurity, and let you stay close. Casual version, she'll disappear, she'll regroup, and then return once she has composed herself again. Number 7, she allows dependence to form. This is not about money or convenience. This is about emotional reliance. When attachment is real, she starts leaning on you. She wants your voice when she's overwhelmed. She wants your presence when she's stressed. She wants reassurance when she feels uncertain. In casual dynamics, dependence is avoided. Even if she likes you, she doesn't want you or want to need you. So long term, she reaches for you when she's struggling. because you feel like home base. Casual version, she reaches for your distraction or other supports because she does not want to be attached. Number 8, she accepts imbalance temporarily. This is hard. This is a hard one for people to admit, but it's real. When attachment is real, there are moments where one person gives more effort, more time, more patience. And they do it without demanding symmetry right away. In a casual dynamic, though, everything is measured. If she gives, she needs immediate return. If she feels imbalance, she corrects it quickly. So long term, she invests during a stage because she believes it will build towards something else, even if it's uncomfortable. She's building towards something. Casual, though, she keeps everything even because she is not building anything permanent. And number 9, she redefines her identity around the bond. This one is pretty subtle. When attachment is real, language changes. She says we. She references you neutrally. Her habits adjust. Not because she lost herself, but because the relationship has become part of her self-concept. In casual dynamics, identity stays separate. The bond is external, like an experience that doesn't touch her core identity. She still is who she is, 100%. But long term, you become part of her story, even how she talks. It's funny. The casual, you stay like a separate side chapter that doesn't fully integrate. So she might talk a certain way around you if it's something long term. She might try new parts of herself, maybe just an accent, and it's mostly around you. Who knows? Number 10 of this small list. She chooses him even when it costs her comfort. Or them. Or he does. You got me. This is the clearest signal. When attachment is real, she chooses connection even when it is inconvenient. She tolerates discomfort with you. She sacrifices easier and sometimes with ease. She shows up when it is not perfect. In a casual dynamic, though, comfort wins. If it is hard, she distances. If it disrupts her peace, she avoids. So long term, she chooses you even when it's inconvenient. Casual, she chooses convenience even when she likes you. And that completes list number 2, nice and short. Take a breath, y'all. I was joking. So, list 2 isn't not really about romance. It's about risk. It's about what someone is willing to risk when they are truly attached. Now, we go into list 3. And this one probably causes the most confusion. So, I'm going to do my best. This list is about a very specific reality. There was genuine chemistry. There was real attraction. There was real closeness and intimacy before. Then the person was later disqualified or sidelined. Now the closeness, perks, and benefits are missed. So attraction gets reactivated for access, comfort, relief, and advantage, or advantage. And I want to say this clearly. This is not always pure manipulation. Sometimes it's genuine attraction mixed with self-interest and avoidance of obligation. In other words, they want the closeness back, but they do not want the responsibility back. And that's the frame. Now let's walk through it. So you guys are like, what the heck are you talking about? Okay. When chemistry exists, access was lost, and they want closeness and benefits back, but without committing. So you had something, and something happened. And now here you are in this weird alternate reality. You Spider-Man or Spider-Man people, multiverse people will probably get this better than others. Number 1, warmth returns suddenly after distance. This is when someone goes cold, then suddenly becomes warm again. They start checking in, they start being sweet, they start acting like the bond is back. Often this happens when they sense you've pulled away or stopped giving an effort. They ignored you for a while, then the moment you stop chasing, they suddenly say, "Hey, how are you? I've been thinking about you." Strange, right? It happens. Number 2, casual re-entry with a familiar tone. Yeah. They come back like nothing happened. And you're sitting there saying, what in the? Same jokes, same vibe, same familiarity. They skip accountability. Example. They do not say, I handle things poorly. They say, what are you up to? Like the silence never existed. It's kind of funny. But it's not funny, but it's funny. Um, Number 3, flirtation that reignites chemistry. Yeah. The sexual tone returns all of a sudden out of nowhere. Teasing, little sparks, playful tension, because the attraction is actually real. So they start sending messages that aren't neutral. They are meant to wake up the part of you that you used to, that used to want them. Number 4, attraction reassurance without clarity. They say things that confirm desire but avoid definition. You mean a lot to me. I still care about you. I'm still attracted to you. But they will not give direction. They offer feelings but refuse structure. Confusing for a lot of people. As I said before, this list is confusing for some people. Number 5, nostalgic recall of intimate moments. They bring up the past. That night, that moment, that inside joke. Nostalgia is used like a bridge back to closeness. Remember when? Yeah. They say, remember when we did that? And you can feel them trying to reopen that emotional door. Number 6, strategic availability. They make time. What? But it's in controlled doses. Small windows, short hangouts, limited access. Enough to reconnect, not enough to build stability, right? They are available late at night, but never available for real plans in the daylight. Number 7, late or vulnerable timing. Contact happens when you are most open, late at night, when they are stressed, when loneliness hits. Example, they don't call when life is stable. They call when they want comfort. Number 8, appearance and charm increases. They show up looking better, more effort, more charm, more attention to presentation. They post something attractive or show up dressed a certain way, knowing you'll notice. Number 9, physical or emotional proximity without escalation. They encourage closeness, but block commitment. They want to sit close, talk deep, share intimacy, but avoid decisions. They want you around, but the moment you ask, "What are we doing?" you shut down. Number 10, crisis or stress signaling. They mention being overwhelmed, finances, work stress, pressure. It invites rescue energy. They say, "I have so much going on right now," and they are hoping you will step into the supportive role again. Number 11, indirect bids for support. Needs are hinted at, not requested. They imply, they sigh, they vent, they rely on your attachment to fill the gap, whatever that is. They don't ask, "Can you help me?" They tell you a sad story and wait for you to offer. Number 12, avoidance of future framing. Any talk about plans get deflected. Future talks create obligation, so it gets dodged. You bring up real plans and they respond with humor or just change the subject totally. Number 13, hope planting language. They drop small lines that keep you open. Maybe someday things could be different. Who knows? Enough hope to keep you emotionally available. They don't commit, but they just keep the door cracked just in case. Number 14, boundary testing through small acts. Small favors start appearing. A ride, right? A help request, a little emotional labor. They test how much access they still have with you. They ask for something small and watch you quickly show up. I know that some of this sounds sinister to many of you, but many people do these things without actually knowing that they're doing them. Like they know what they're doing, but it's not a conscious, a conscience, a con, a conscious way of manipulating you. They're just doing what they're doing because that's how they feel. Do you understand? Hopefully, get it. Number 15, jealousy activation when competition appears. They become more engaged when they sense replacement. If they think someone else has your attention, they suddenly want you back. Some people on the anxious side do this on purpose, sadly. Most of the time it backfires, though. You post something or mention someone, and they suddenly become warm and curious. What's this all about? Number 16, low maintenance signaling, right? They present themselves as easygoing, easy. I'm not asking for much. I'm chill. I don't need anything. It is meant to reduce pressure so you will reopen the door for them. They promise they will not be difficult because they want access without responsibility. Number 17, familiarity used as leverage. Yeah. Shared history becomes an excuse. We've been through a lot. You know me. We are different. Familiarity is used to bypass accountability, bust open some side door that most people don't have with you. Right? Right to your heart. Or right to whatever it is. They treat history like a free pass. People do it all the time. With that one, I think people do that on purpose, though. Many times. But who am I to say, right? Who am I to judge? Number 18, selective accountability. They admit just enough to keep you open. Not full ownership, just enough. They say, yeah, I wasn't perfect, but they never say what they did. They never repair it fully. Might say sorry, maybe. Number 19, warmth peaks near benefit proximity. You're like, huh? Affection increases when help feels possible. When you might be able to do something, affection all of a sudden becomes softer and easier. All of a sudden, it's like right there. Yeah. When gifts, support, or effort might return, warmth rises. Example, they're sweetest right before they want something. Yeah. Number 20, pull back once closeness resumes. As soon as access returns, intensity of whatever they're doing fades. The chase ends. The warmth drops. The cycle resets. Example, they come close, they get comfort, then they distance again because the goal was access, not commitment. All right, guys. So that's our little list there. A little 3 lists. Listen, if you listened all the way through, you were not looking for comfort. You were looking for clarity. And clarity is not always gentle. Sometimes clarity feels like seeing the same pattern you've seen before, but finally admitting what it is. These lists are not here to tell you what to do with your life. They are here to help you stop guessing and to see things for what they are and not necessarily for what you hope they will be. Patterns do not mean someone's a villain, although it might feel that way. Patterns mean someone is consistent, right? And maybe not consistent in the way that you want them to be consistent, but consistent nevertheless. And once you can see consistency, you stop bargaining with confusion. This has been episode 293 of You're Probably Right. I am MCM. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to stop asking how someone feels and start watching what they repeatedly choose. All right, guys, I know this has been a long one, so I'm not going to drag it out. Although, I mean, if it's long, you might as well just let it be what it is, right? But these lists, they can really be eye-opening. Again, they can be hurtful. I can imagine some people finding the whole list if they listen, saying this is utter nonsense, and maybe they do a lot of these things to people, or they've done it to a person. And even that, maybe listen over and see where you have done these things to people. Because I think most of the time when people look at lists, for some reason they externalize like stuff that internalize it. They look at stuff that's been happening to them, but they don't look at the other side of what they've done to other people. Maybe things didn't work out and it was your fault. Maybe you ended things. Maybe you hung on only when you needed someone, but you weren't really there for them. Anyhow, guys, thanks for hanging out. Again, please, if you're still here, please rate me on Apple. I hardly have any. As a matter of fact, I don't think you can erase it, but it's pretty low. I just want to be more visible. That's the whole point of it. It's not I want you to say that this podcast is amazing when you don't even like it. But if you do like it, I think that's one of the hardest things to get people to do is to subscribe to your podcast. Is very hard. People can listen. They can cut in and listen to anybody at any time, but to get them to actually take the time to sign into their Spotify or Apple account and actually rate somebody is very difficult. People would rather give a comment, I think, give their 2 cents. But either way, guys, anything helps. If you would subscribe, or if you would rate me on Apple at least, or if you will leave a comment somewhere, wherever this is. I know there's so many different platforms that I'm actually on. And I know that there's various ways of accessing and using those platforms. So anything you can do to help the show would be greatly appreciated by me. Anyhow, this is MCM. I'm signing off. 293 out. Peace.
Hey, come check out You're Probably Right podcast. Society is getting more unpredictable every day, but at the same time, predictable in its unpredictability. Say that 4 times real fast. Come with me as I attempt to find clarity in all the fog while staying way outside the box and kicking the box way down the road with my size 12 dogs. I use the Bible, experience, education, fortune, misfortune, life's lessons, life's mistakes to sort through all the mess. I talk about news, God, God, self-help, sports, sickness, health, music, parenting, love, humbleness, hurt, pain, joy, and all the things that might make you say, I never thought of it that way. Hopefully, anyway. Also, I take a stab at answering tough and not so tough questions, and all the while, understand that, listen, sometimes you end up in the hot seat and there's no thermostat. Well, that's how it is here. And because there's no topic, very few topics off the table, Torontonians will understand that Doug Ford reference there. Hopefully the podcast will be helpful and uplifting. And hey, maybe you'll find your own private Idaho here somewhere. Hope to see you soon.